to talk about something. I've touched on this before. I'm going to touch on it again. I repeat myself a lot. And I want to talk about knowing your opponent. And I'm not talking about, oh, I know that guy, or he's my brother-in-law, or whatever. I'm talking about, what is your opponent good at? What is he bad at? What is he likely to try? What is he going to try every time? What is he never going to try? Things like that. The first ever one pocket match that I ever won at Derby City, I played a guy from Alaska, and I could tell pretty much right away that he was a rotation player. So what little one pocket knowledge I had surpassed his one pocket knowledge. It was pretty evident. But this guy was a very, very straight shooter. And I figured this out pretty darn quickly by leaving him shots that a real one pocket player would never shoot. And he would shoot them. A lot of times he made the damn balls. I won this match, but I didn't roll over him. But he kept shooting stuff that, I didn't think he would shoot. Your one pocket player doesn't shoot this. What little I knew about one pocket strategy was that, no, you don't do, I'm bad at examples if I never mentioned that. Let's say this is this guy's pocket on the left, and I leave him like this, thinking, oh, there's no way in hell he's ever going to shoot the 11, because it doesn't really lead to anything. It's a perfectly straighted shot. Well, this particular guy would just, oh, gee, thanks, Dave, for leaving me this perfectly straighted shot that I know how to make. And then he would bank the ball, or try to bank the ball. This happened to this guy a lot. And what made me think about all this was watching this Scott Frost-Federer Gorst match last night. Federer Gorst is an unbelievably accurate shooter. Unbelievably accurate. But he is still new. Well, he's new to pool, and hell, he's new to life in general. He's new to one pocket, especially compared to Scott Frost. Scott Frost is also unbelievably accurate. He's not at Federer's level of accuracy, but very few people are. But I would imagine that Scott has been playing high-level one pocket longer than Federer has been alive. I don't think I'm wrong when I say that. But I'm watching this match, and there were just some cases where I felt like Scott was trying to tempt Federer into shooting something that a real one pocket player wouldn't shoot. And he succeeded in a lot of those. He tempted Federer into shooting something that a real one pocket player wouldn't shoot. Problem was, he was playing Federer Gorst. And Federer Gorst, even though he's not supposed to shoot whatever the shot was, he'd shoot it anyway and make it, and then run several more balls. And this did happen quite a bit. So there were times where I didn't feel like Scott was using the right strategy. I can't read minds, even if I never mentioned that. I don't know what the hell he was really thinking, but me just watching it, it kind of looked that way to me. There are some people that you can absolutely tempt them with stupid shots. I'm one of those people. I will shoot stuff you're not supposed to shoot if you're a real one pocket player. There are people you can tempt with shit like that, and a lot of times you can get away with it. But then there are some players, and there are 3 or 4 in the world I can think of off the top of my head, that don't really play one pocket, but are such damn straight shooters that maybe you don't want to tempt them at all. The games that Scott won in the thing I watched last night were the times where he outplayed Federer, not where he outshot Federer. Almost impossible to outshoot Federer, okay? I mentioned here in a recent video that one of my regular one pocket opponents is a better strategist than I am at one pocket. But I am a better shooter. And on the days where he tries to outshoot me, he usually doesn't succeed. On the days where he tries to outplay me and outmove me and out-strategize me, he has a much better chance. Now take me and the guy I'm talking about and multiply our talent levels by a billion, and then you've got Scott and Federer. But it's the same kind of a deal. In my opinion, the same kind of deal. So I saw a little bit of that last night, and like I said, I disagreed from my nice little cozy stool at the bar. I disagreed with a Hall of Famer, Scott Frost. So take that with a million grains of salt. What was I going to say was, if you a little bit harder, Dave. That's what she said. What I was going to say was, there are people you can do that kind of stuff to. There are people that, if that's their pocket, they're going to shoot at this damn one, even though it doesn't leave them anything. Or they're going to try to go rail first at this one and hope to come back around for the 4. And you kind of want them to do that because most of the world's population isn't capable of shooting this kind of a shot, every time. Sure, they're going to do it sometimes. They're not capable of doing it. They're not capable of doing it as often as they think or hope that they are. So yeah, there are people you can do that to. There's some people you can't. There are some people like Federer, Josh Filler's another one, that are going to shoot. If they have a shot, they are going to shoot it, and they're going to make the damn ball because they're that damn good. They're that accurate. They're going to make the damn ball, and you're going to feel like a dumbass for leaving them that easy shot. Even though in reality it was not an easy shot. It was stupid to shoot it. But they're going to shoot it and they're going to make it. This is going to happen. So that's one type of thing you have to watch out for. I'm constantly having to remind myself that everybody's not like me as far as strategy goes and all that. So I try to put myself in the other player's shoes or whatever. What are they likely to do? As I said, what are they likely to not do? What are they going to shoot every time? What are they never going to shoot? This is one of the big things about One Pocket, is trying to anticipate what your opponent's going to do. In the case of leaving wild and crazy and or stupid shots, there are some players that that was a good lead. Did you see that? There are a lot of people you just don't want to do that with. A lot of people you can't do that with. Another one, a little bit of a different category, would be Tony Chohan. Tony Chohan's a very accurate player, and he will shoot a lot of crazy shots. He's not as accurate as some people like Federer or Scott Frost, but Tony has zero fear. Zero. And so he'll shoot it. And he'll play shape for the next. And I went down and I played Tony last July. I went down and played him in New Orleans, hoping to learn something. I'm going down there again in a couple weeks, again hoping to learn something. I don't know if there's anything I can learn, because there are some people that I know I can tempt, and they will try and fail. There are some people that I know I should never tempt, like Federer type of caliber players. I should never tempt them because they're going to try and succeed. And then there are players like Tony, who's going to see shit that I never even thought of, because I've only been playing One Pocket for a decade. So it's not a question of don't try to tempt somebody like Tony, or try to tempt him. It's stay home, never play him. My mind, my One Pocket brain, cannot conceive of too many of the things that he can do and he sees and does. It's a big shortcoming for me. That's one of the things that I'm hoping to learn this year when I go out there playing, is try to learn a little bit how how to think like a champion player, even though I can't really shoot like one all the time. And we'll see how that works out. It'll still be fun. I like hanging around pool players. I went to this rail yard place today. Hung out for a little while. They're having a league tournament going on. And I like hanging around pool players. We've all gone through the same shit. Missing that 5 bullshit. Having a miscue, having a skid, whatever. We've all gone through the same thing. If we haven't, then our name is probably Dennis. My name's not Dennis. I have gone through all those. Anyway, what was I yammering about? I guess that was their strategy that that I learned as I was trying to pick up the game of one pocket more than I had. And I have picked up a lot of that, but I was playing the same half dozen or so people. And so, I knew what this guy was going to do. I knew what this guy was going to do. I knew what this guy. I knew that, and so it was up to me to not play into their strengths. And in some cases that worked. In some cases it didn't. There are some players that I don't know enough about the game to not play into their strengths. That's what I was just talking about with Tony. Is I don't know enough. He's going to find a damn shot. If he feels like finding a shot playing against me, he's going to find a damn shot. Because I don't know enough about how to not leave him these crazy, insane things that he does sometimes. Somebody like Scott or Federer or somebody like that, they're more sane, more cautious, perhaps I should say. I think in a lot of cases I know how to play those guys safe. I don't do it nearly as often as I would like, but I kind of know, okay, if I do this, I'm not going to leave him a shot. If I put the cue ball here or whatever, I'm not going to leave a shot. But there are players, like Tony, that if I leave the cue ball here, he's going to 3-reel kick a ball in and then run 8 and out on me. This is just what happens, and it's part of the fun of the game for me. Is everybody's different, and you can learn something from everybody. As I said, the thing that I learned playing Tony was don't fucking play Tony. If you like money, don't play Tony. The thing that I would learn from people like Federer and Scott, more orthodox players, I guess that's a decent word, would be try to learn from them, think ahead, try to think ahead with them. What are they likely to do if I leave them in a certain position? And then make a decision based on what I think they're going to do. Am I going to risk it? Am I going to tempt them? Are they going to try something they should never try? And if they do try something they should never try, are they going to make it anyway? Are they likely to make it? Or are they likely to miss and sell out? And the ideal thing is you leave somebody a tough shot. Maybe they feel like they're stuck or something, and they try that tough shot, they miss, they sell out. That's like the ideal thing. Playing people like at my level, that's what we do. The people that I play against day to day and things, that's what we do. We typically will try to tempt somebody into doing something stupid. I've said a million times. I'm here. Those guys are. There's my ceiling. They're way up above my ceiling. I'm trying to learn just like everybody else. Just like a lot of other people are, I think. Trying to learn how to think like a champion. Oh, I suck. That's all I was going to say about all this is if you don't know, okay, because I always summarize. So if you don't know, you get in a tournament and you draw somebody. Like I go to Derby City every year. And there's an awful lot of really, really good players in this tournament that I never heard of. Of course, like I said, they never heard of me either. But I don't have any idea anything about this guy. So should I tempt him? Should I not tempt him? What do I want to try to do? On a good day, I can pick that up fairly quickly. On what are they likely to do? On a bad day, by the time I've even started to think about picking up what they're going to do, they've already defeated me. I don't know the answer to how to walk in and draw just anybody on the planet. You don't know anything about them, and have the proper strategy against them. The only way I would know to do that would be one of the best players in the world, and I'm not one of the best players in the world. So failing that, I can just kind of have to watch him. I played a guy just last year at Derby in one pocket. I felt like we were probably pretty close to each other in offensive. We could make shots. We could both make shots. We could both play pretty decent safeties. But he was more creative than I was at one pocket. And because he was more creative, he could think of stuff, safeties usually, that I hadn't even seen. I can't defend against something I can't even conceive of. Now, if I play this guy again next year or in the future, I should remember, hey, he taught me something back in 2022. I'm not going to leave him that opportunity again. I try to remember things like that. That's one of the things that's fun and all that. I just started rambling. I was going to say something else. I don't remember what the hell it was, but it was all about the same deal. Everybody, in my case, everybody's not like me. I'm not playing against another version of myself. I'm playing against somebody with more or less ability, both at offense and defense. I'm playing with somebody with more or less experience, and the trick is kind of pick that up. Inclinations. Are they inclined to shoot stupid, crazy stuff? Okay. If they are so inclined, are they going to make the damn ball? And just trying to get a read on that as quickly as possible. And it's a challenge, and it's a challenge probably for most players that aren't already at the top of their game. They can beat anybody. What I try to do, if I never heard of a guy, I will usually won't worry so much about tempting them. Tempt them with a long straight-in shot with no future, because I want to see what they're going to do, or freeze the cue ball to a rail, because I want to see what they're going to do. If I'm playing a guy and I freeze the cue ball to the rail, and every time he plays safe off of that, even though there may be a makeable shot, then I'll know he doesn't like shooting off the rail. He's not going to do it. If I leave him a long straight-in shot and he never shoots it, hey, this guy doesn't like long straight-in shot. You learn these things, and every opponent is going to be different. He's going to have different things. One of the trick is just to pick up on those things as quickly as you can. I can take some things that I learned from this guy I played in January, and maybe apply those to somebody else and go, hey, you're kind of like this other guy. I don't know. I'm rambling, but it's a video. Ah.